Good, what is this? Afternoon, May?
Afternoon.
We're back.
Good afternoon, Moxey. I'm drinking a coconut LaCroix. I just finished submitting a project. I feel relaxed and as though somewhat of a weight has been lifted.
I'm drinking a fresh Fresca because, you know, that sort of thing is the best when you just crack the tab before you start your podcast as not to hear the noise while you're recording. We've been gone for like 2 weeks, which is the longest we've been delayed making an episode yet. But I assure everyone we had really good reasons why, and we'll talk to you about that today.
We sure will.
So, welcome back, everyone. If you have not watched, or I guess there's no watching to this unless you're listening to it on YouTube.
Your ears.
If you haven't listened to our podcast before, our podcast is about our spiritual movement that we want to send out into the world. The idea that if you put love out into the world, you get more love back exponentially. May and I am Moxey, discovered this throughout the years of our long-term friendship, and now we want to spread that with everyone else as we figure out exactly what all that means. So, yeah, we haven't been here for a couple weeks. We've been off doing life. May, how's it going with you?
Very good. I have been living a very euphoric life for the most part. I have been looking for the little love. I had a little cute situation pop up where I was going through the aforementioned market, the produce market that I go through.
Yeah.
And I've been buying my oranges there. So that's been a big help. And I went to my favorite local produce grower and I bought my 3 oranges for $1. And she said, "Oh no, don't take off your backpack. I'll do it for you."
What?
So she had zipped my backpack and put the oranges in, and then she's like, "I feel like I'm packing your lunch for school. Here you go. Have a good day." And it was very cute and nice.
That's super cute. That's super cute. Yeah.
For the rest of the morning, it kind of opened me up to having just like a nice, cute day, I guess. I could feel euphoric vibrations, I think, more easily than I would have been able to otherwise had I not opened myself up to that little love.
That's very nice. That's very nice. And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, I felt the big love lately, which is really great. And I really feel
you
like
certainly have.
A lot of the love that I'd been putting out there really came back tenfold and was amazing. So
much deserved.
Oh, thank you. Wow. I have that feeling in my body. I don't. But anyway.
Of course you do.
So what happened to me, wonderful members of our community, is when you last left us, May and I weren't having great times, especially me. I was planning to run a marathon in 9 days and had a physio telling me that was a terrible idea. And if you've ever seen a picture of me, I am not a marathon runner, but I had really been
you literally are now, though.
Well, I don't have a marathon body, we'll say. But I'd been trying. I'd been really focusing my love and my attention into training for a marathon for over a year and was coming up the cusp of it and told not to do it. And I just thought, what is happening? I've put all this love out there, all this literal energy into the world. But anyway, I was able to do it. And what a sweet, sweet, sweet relief and burden off my shoulders. And now I can just put all my energy into giving others love instead of just having love for me too. So that was very wonderful. And then I spent a week with my parents, which was very awesome, giving and receiving love with them and their neighbors and having barbecues with people. And it was pretty great. Yeah, if people don't know, my parents live down in Florida and they live in an apartment, and we just went down to the detached garage of the apartment complex and rolled out the old BBQ and had a barbecue with a few friends. So it was really fun.
Honestly, this is all wonderful. And I really hope to join you.
Yes, May is hoping
soon.
to come with me next year. You'll be delighted, May, that
2020, baby.
we were even just sitting in the garage doing a puzzle while we barbecued.
Oh, delightful.
It was-
I'll bring my knitting. I'm not being sarcastic.
I know. Anything happened in your life in the past 2 weeks that's notable for our fellowship meeting, May?
Well, I also, in addition to looking for the little love, I also, on a few occasions, allowed myself to be delighted. And I observed some other people being very delighted. And I'd like to tell you about that, if that's okay.
Sounds good.
This past week, people probably, well, you might not know, but if you're from the area, we've had some really horrible weather. A lot of heavy rains followed by flash freezing overnight and flooding and all that kind of springtime wonderfulness of Mother Nature. So as a result of that, me as a bus traveler, I've noticed that we have some fair weather friends. But I say that sarcastically. I'm just joking. It's the bus is for everyone, and don't let anyone tell you differently. So we've had some friends, just some women from around my neighborhood took the bus with me a few days this week that normally would drive in. Mm-hmm. But of course the roads here have been just so terrible. So it was just, they were absolutely delighted by taking the bus. They loved getting... I know. I was just... And it made me appreciate, like, yeah, this is pretty awesome, actually.
For, like, $2.50, you get to work and someone else drives. It's crazy.
Well, I don't even have to pay for it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I don't even have to pay for it because work, as part of a green initiative, they reimburse me for my bus pass.
Nice.
So I'm riding for free. And just standing with these women, they knew each other, but I didn't know them. But, I mean, they would be from my neighborhood. And they were just so happy to be out having a social interaction at, 10 to 8 in the morning. It's winter, so, I mean, it's not warm out, but it's been quite mild.
Yeah. With
the rain and everything, and the freezing is overnight, but, I mean, it stays to the day. So I just thought they were so cute and nice. Like, they were all dressed up. They had very fancy winter parkas that you could tell they don't usually get to wear because they're usually just in their car going into work, and they had like the fancy boots on and they had big ice grippers, and then they got on the bus and they were making conversation with everyone. And I also felt special because I have my regular bus friends, so I was speaking with them and able to say, oh, how's your dad and how's da 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 da. So it just was nice, and this also would be looking for the little love as well. It was just the community of being on the bus and being delighted by, the euphoric feelings that these women, unbeknownst to themselves, were giving off by having this experience on the bus. And they loved it, and their energy I was feeding off their energy. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. And maybe they will take the bus more.
Honestly, I hope so, because they were commenting on how easy it was. Well, it's just like the song says, you don't have to park. You don't have to worry about traffic because you're on the bus. And they were so
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean? Oh, well...
I'll put a clip of it in it. Growing up, we grew up in the same city, and there was a radio jingle trying to get you to take the bus. And it's actually an amazing jingle.
Since I left my car at home, I found a green way to go. St. John Transit. Going to work, going to save the earth. I got a limo that's 40 feet long. I got a chauffeur who won't steer me wrong. Commuting is better than it ever was. I'm taking it easy when I take the bus.
I actually had something else I wanted to talk about. It's a little heavy.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Are we ready for it?
Sure, I'm bracing.
Okay. This morning, as I got up early to work on my project that I have now finished, as I was making my coffee, I went on social media, as I often do, And I'm a member of this group that posts old-timey photos of the province that I live in. And my city, the city that I live in as well, they'll post like vintage photos of the main street and I'll just cute, like vintage, retro, nostalgic things like that. Some of it's from like the 1800s up to like the 80s. Oh. So anywhere, 1980s. So kind of anywhere in between, just fun, whatever. So this morning, an older gentleman posted a post about his nephew trying to go for his driver's test and not being able to sign his name in cursive because it's not being taught anymore. And this was accompanied by a screen crap. It certainly was of supposedly a local politician. Just different tweets that they had made that were spelled incorrectly and poor grammar, and so. Of course, where this led to. The millennials are silly and they don't understand anything and they don't know how to do anything and they're lazy and da-da-da-da. And I know. And this was particularly upsetting for me because I really enjoy these types of groups where they show old pictures. I'm in another one of the neighborhood where my father grew up, and I like looking at these because my grandfather still lives there and it's interesting. And it really upset me because, first of all, the post was obviously copy and pasted from somewhere, and I couldn't leave it alone. I was supposed to be working on my project, couldn't leave it alone. So I ended up finding the source of the picture of the politician, and of course it was something shared by the Daily Mail about 8 years ago, and it wasn't rural. No, exactly. I posted that this is not the point of this group, and my younger millennial generation, we laugh at the older generation for not being able to fact check these things, and I was not very euphoric. Oh. And I guess, and after a time, I also felt I was on the defensive a little bit too because they were trash talking teachers, and I found that was really upsetting because a lot of the members of the group are also people my age who are teachers, and they don't have control over whether or not they're teaching your children how to write cursive. And it's one thing to be upset that something you considered an important part of your education is no longer being taught, but they were making personal attacks on anyone who was like, hey, this isn't fair, it's part of the community. So I told the one woman who was getting very upset that, teachers are awesome and you give your heart and your soul out to these children, often for not a lot of payback, and not to worry about that. And I ended up kind of stopping myself and just leaving the group. And my point of telling this story is that, part of having a euphoric lifestyle is that you give out love and exponentially it vibrates and you receive it back in return. When you get caught into a vortex of toxic thoughts or toxic words, that prevents you from receiving love back, and it prevents you from giving it out. You're blocked. It's like having a slinky, and it's so well, I mean, that's kind of how I think of like a euphoric vibration as a slinky. That kind of is, when you shake one end and it goes like a little wave back into itself and just keeps going like that. When you get the blockage, that's like when your slinky would get kind of wound in on itself and caught up.
Yeah.
And stop working. So, I mean, all that did was make me waste about an hour of the morning becoming upset with these people who I'll probably never meet.
Yeah.
And honestly, the man that posted it, I'm not even 100% sure he was an actual person and not a bot or a 15-year-old person just trying to stir up doo-doo, which is definitely what happened. He caught me. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just really important to pay attention to when there's some kind of a toxic idea coming in, because I think I've touched on this before, that your brain really it's just a computer made of meat, and a computer made of computey parts can get a software virus, and the same thing can happen to your own mind. And when that happens to you by way of these toxic words or toxic images, you're not able to give out the love that you deserve to be able to give out, and you're certainly not able to receive it back.
Yeah, you do kind of get stuck in these negative cycles once you get sucked in. And I mean, I've been guilty of it too, and that's why I don't follow a lot of groups at all anymore, because I can't.
I know, I really shouldn't.
I can't stand these. This is going to sound bad, but these uneducated posts like that, where it's like, nostalgia rules over everything, and millennials are useless, when millennials, I'll say I'm not a millennial for the sake of the statement, like, they're an awesome generation. They're growing up in this hyper-evolving world and still staying ahead of everything, and they're going to be the ones who save us. And everybody trashing them pisses me off, because all they see are these little microscopic things that...
I think they're scared. I think they're scared of losing their own relevance and their own importance.
I don't even know if it's fear as much as just they have no love left in them. They're so stuck in these negative loops that all they see is the negative. So everything is... There's this negative lens that everything sees, instead of looking for little bits of positivity and love in the world and focusing on them. They just focus on the negative, and it doesn't matter if it's fact-checked or not, or it doesn't matter if it makes sense to how the world actually operates or not, too.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that about the fact-checking, because after I made my post of, oh, look, this is where it's from, just my being very smug and silly, someone actually replied to me, it doesn't matter whether it happened or not, it makes sense, essentially was what they were saying. I was like, no, it's literally a lie, though. It does matter. But I've learned from it, and I'll certainly make the mistake again. But hopefully it will be a longer time before I get sucked in again.
Or if you do get sucked in, you just let go after 2 minutes and stop yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I just left the group. I said I had a nice chat with the very nice teacher woman that I was speaking to, and that I appreciated her interaction with me, and then I just left the group.
Yeah, there's been so many Facebook responses and Reddit responses that I've wrote and just deleted, because
delete them.
I am getting better at not pressing send and just walk away. They're never gonna have a positive outlook on things, even if I'm caring and loving and giving it out. Focus your energy on things that if you put the love out there, there's a chance of it coming back to. And eventually maybe those people will have those opportunities too, but
I think they will eventually. But I mean, it's not, you can't help everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You can try, but don't do it at the expense of your own euphoric feeling.
Yeah, if you can only focus your love to positive places, that's okay too.
Yeah.
So you got a crystal to purify us of all of that negative unlove?
I do, and it somewhat ties into the story I just had.
I was hoping it would.
Oh, yes. And it definitely ties into my work on this project. Ooh. I have chosen for this week, it's actually a crystal I've been carrying in my pocket as I do my schoolwork. It's called Tiger's Eye.
Ooh.
And this is a very interesting crystal. It's not really one that I think people gravitate towards if they're like a new crystal-y person, but it's because it's kind of, it's a little plain looking maybe, but I like it. It's a brown color, and then it kind of shifts to have like a golden hue, so it's kind of shimmery. And what it reminds me of, do you remember that magnetic nail polish where you would hold the magnet over it and then it would kind of get like a 3D shimmer thing?
While it was still drying? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I think so.
Yeah. This is, I'll try and, when I put this up on the Instagram, I'll try and do a little video of it shifting colors. But yeah, that's what this is like when you look at it. It almost looks like it's kind of a 3D effect, a little bit holographic or something. So it's looking very beautiful. And I wrote this down in all caps in my notes. It is the ultimate power stone.
Ultimate power.
Mm-hmm. This stone is used, it can be used as a catch-all, the way that you use just a quartz crystal to kind of enhance what you're already doing. And the reason for that is because it helps with your organization and it helps with your focus. So Tiger's Eye is something, that's why I keep it in my pocket. I need one at work on my desk because I've been having trouble focusing at work. But while I'm studying, I keep one of those with a quartz crystal in my pocket. And this it's supposed to decrease the temptation to kind of daydream, or, it helps you keep your eyes on the prize, power through. It helps you stay focused on what it is that you're trying to do. I want to read this to you. This is from buildingbeautifulsouls.com, and I wrote...
No, May.
No, I just want to read it because I thought it was funny. Just listen, okay. You'll discover the vibrations of this stone, instilling pragmatics into your aura.
Does that sequence of words even make sense?
I know, I didn't really understand what it meant, but I was like, whoa. I liked it. I'm not laughing at it. I just want to be clear. I'm not laughing at it. I don't understand it.
I'm not mocking the person, but it's absolutely ridiculous.
Coupled with Ultimate Power Stone. So.
I mean, if anything is ultimate power, it is obviously the best, for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So. But it's also funny because most of them say that they're the best stone. But I mean, why not?
Live your best life, Crystal.
I mean, I am, so.
Fake it till you make it, just like May and
That's right. You know it. So yeah, that's all I've got for my crystal.
Well, that's exciting. I mean, that's all I think I had to share.
Wanted to give a shout out to Shannon N.
Oh.
She is a new listener.
Oh, baby!
And she's very lovely. I just met her Christmas Day night at a party.
Nice.
And we spoke briefly, and then I met her again at a party about 2 weeks ago. And she's just very lovely. And you know how sometimes you meet somebody and you just hit it off really quick and you just mesh? Yeah, I felt like that with her. She's just very friendly, very sweet person. She's totally 100% on board with the euphorolytic message. And I think that she's been living a euphorolytic lifestyle, whether she realizes it or not.
Oh.
So bonus points to you, Shannon. And also, whether she realized this and maybe this is what prompted her to message me, I was having a terrible day. And feeling very sulky and sooky. And then she sent, us, but me, that message, and I felt really good. So thank you. That was lovely.
Oh, that's so nice.
Keep listening.
Yeah, please do.
You guys are the best.
Thank you so much for being a part of our community. And if you want to get the latest of everything, please follow us. I'm not pleading. It's just if you want to happen to share the love, you can follow us on Instagram at euphorolytic, which is EUPHORALYTIC. And May and I both post there. May and I both read the chats that come in. So feel free to ask us any questions, or if you have anything that comes up anytime, please. We'd love to have you follow us there. And we're always doing a funding drive. And if you just tensed up and started to turn off the podcast, stop. No, we're not looking for money. All the funding we want is for you to go to Apple Podcasts and review our podcast.
That is correct.
So please, if you have 3 minutes go on an Apple device or on your computer and give us a hopefully positive review of this podcast. And that helps spread the word to everyone, because if we have a really good positive review, then more people see us when they search, or it pops up as a suggestion or that sort of thing too. So, yeah. Good. Did you have anything else that you need to add, May?
No, I feel like I've gotten out everything that I had bottled up inside of me for these 2 weeks.
Yes, it was a long 2 weeks, so sorry if we took too much of your time, but we love you all and hope to see you next time.
We certainly love you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
To save the earth. I got a limo that's 40 feet long. I got a chauffeur who won't steer me wrong. Commute